Hey mappers, this is a new series I'll be starting where I show you how to set up various game modes in TF2. I've seen a lot of new mappers only making one type of game mode for the last several years, and I wanted to help mappers expand their options and knowledge of the game logic within Hammer. Out of all the popular game modes in TF2, Capture the Flag is by far the easiest to make the gameplay logic for. It's no exaggeration to say that you can have a CTF map running in under 5 minutes. And before we begin, I highly recommend downloading ABS's Ultimate Mapping Resource Pack if you haven't already. This pack is incredibly useful if you're making any maps for TF2. I'll be using it in all my mapping tutorials, and I recommend you download and install it as soon as you can. There will be a link to it in the description. Alright, so let's make a CTF map then. So to start in Hammer, I've already created a basic cube. As you can see, the cube is divided into red and blue sides, which will be where we place the various team entities. So to start, let's create spawns for red and blue. Red spawns here on the red side, and blue spawns here on the blue side. Place down an entity using the entity tool. Info_player_team spawn is the default entity, so we don't have to change it at the moment. Now, double click the entity in the 3D viewport, and a window should open up in the middle of the screen. In that window, click the field that says Team and change it to red. After doing that, click the entity and hold down Shift and drag to copy and paste it. Drag the new entity over to the blue side and then open up the properties window again and change the team to blue this time. Next, let's place another team spawn entity, but let's change this one. Double click the entity after placing it, and click the entity class field to change the entity. Now type in TF_game_rules and click apply. TF_game_rules is not a required entity generally, but it's good practice to have one in your map, as it lets you control various settings related to the game. Next, create another entity on the red side and change this one to an item_team flag. This is the flag in CTF maps. Now change the field that says team to red. This makes it so only blue can pick up the flag. Now simply copy the flag over to blue side by holding shift and drag in the entity and change the team for the new flag to blue. Now we have flags, but no way to capture them, so let's fix that. Create a brush surrounding the red flag. I'll resize mine to be 128 by 128 units. Use the toggle texture application tool to change the texture and click the browse button in the bottom left area. Type the word tool into the box at the bottom that says filter and select a texture called trigger. Click apply to apply the trigger texture to the entire cube. Now for the final step. Select the box using the mouse and then press Ctrl+T to turn the cube into a brush entity. Click the entity class field and change the entity into a func_capture zone. Now click the field that says team and change it to red. This makes it so red can capture a flag if they touch the zone. Now copy the brush over to blue side and change the team to blue so they can cap as well. And that's it. Yep, you've just created all the logic required to make a capture the flag map. Now, there is one more thing we might want to consider. Sometimes you'll want the flag to return to its starting position instantly. Say you have a death pit in your map or some area that players can't escape. Having to wait for the flag would be pretty lame, so let's fix that with one more brush entity. Copy one of your func_capture zones and change the entity to a func_respawn flag. This entity will make it so when the player touches it, the flag that they are carrying will immediately teleport back to its starting position. Make sure you place this entity before players are killed by a hazard to make sure that it sends the flag back. Now, compile your map and load it in-game to check if everything is working. As you can see here, the func_respawn flag brush works as intended, as well as capping the flag. So just like that, you have all the working logic for a capture the flag map, along with a bonus. If you appreciated this tutorial, I plan on uploading more in the future, so keep an eye out.